Today's video is sponsored by myself and my webshop tsmc.shop. Please go check it out. The new website is now live and we're constantly adding new products to get you a better shopping experience and the best possible tools and materials for your hobby needs. So back in the day, I used to do quite a lot of 3D printer reviews, specifically on resin printers, which I still try to do here and there if the printer is interesting enough, but also did quite a lot on FDM 3D printers. Now these printers are not really as interesting for scale modeling specifically, but they do have a lot stronger parts to be printed on them and have some other useful uses on a scale modeler's workbench, but not specifically for super detailed parts. So in the end, after doing quite a lot of them, I kind of got bored. They all looked a bit samey, and it seemed like the content wasn't really all that interesting for the viewers either. So if you didn't know, these videos are of course on my channel, and if you did know but aren't really interested either, then do feel free to let me know down in the comments if you want to see more of these 3D printer reviews, or are more than happy that they've pretty much gone from the channel. Now with that being said, I did get offered a couple of very interesting 3D printers, and I wanted to share these with you really badly. And of course, since I can't really turn down free stuff that is pretty cool free stuff, I tend to not turn it down for some specific reason, which I can't really put my finger on. But then again, I do turn down quite a lot of them, but in this case I couldn't resist. So if you hadn't guessed already, or if you just read the title of the video, this one is brought to you by Elegoo and their Orange Storm Giga. Now besides me being really greedy and really up for free stuff here and there, the other reason that I did not turn this one down is because it's simply huge. And that huge part was kind of interesting to me to see if it actually would be something useful for my workbench, workspace, maybe even my warehouse, and just to figure out what I could do with it. So with me being drawn by the printer being this huge, that also led to the downside of this printer, and that is that it is pretty darn huge. And even though I thought I would have a lot of use for this printer, it kind of turned out to be the other way around, as I'm really struggling to find useful projects for my style of building and my warehouse, my workshop, etc. for this printer to actually be useful. Now then, going back to the size, this thing is absolutely huge, and that is the main problem. It is huge and therefore takes up a lot of space, and that is pretty much space I don't have. Now keep in mind, this does sound a bit negative and a bit whiny, and it's not really supposed to be. This is just an honest review based on my specific set of circumstances and the use I would have for this printer. When the printer arrived, it came in two huge boxes, needed to be assembled. Overall, it wasn't really all that hard to do. You could do this on your own, but I recommend to not do that, as some of the parts are incredibly heavy and you would like to not damage the printer. So it is good to have someone around to lend a helping hand in assembling. Now just simply follow the instructions and you're pretty much good to go within the hour, I'd assume, if everything goes to plan. One thing I didn't really account for myself, even though I could have if I'd actually read the instructions and looked at some of the numbers, is that this printer requires a pretty big amount of power. So I simply just put it into a plug, and then the entire light system and every other thing in my house just switched off, because it was too much power sucked into that printer to combine it with some other things in the house. So it was set to a separate circuit specifically for this printer itself, so it didn't break anything else in the house. But then again, this is pretty much four of the bigger printers combined into one, and when you turn it on, it just sucks too much power, and therefore the lights go off if you haven't set everything correctly and made sure that the socket that you're using could handle that amount of power. With the lights now turned back on and the printer on its own circuit running perfectly fine, it was time to start the initial setup, simply just following the instructions, doing the automated leveling, and then going for the first test print. The first test went pretty well, no major problems whatsoever. Print came out fine and left a good result. So with that being said, it was time to move on to some of my own files or my own prints that I wanted to do on this printer, and that is where I kind of ran into a problem. Thinking I had plenty of useful projects to print on this printer, but simply all of them were way too small. So I did design a couple of my own files. Well, I say I mean my wife, because I'm useless and she's a bit better at that than I am, so we figured out a couple of things that could be done in the warehouse for the web shop that needed some improvement or could be done simply better, more efficient, etc. So we designed a couple of those things to do there, and they actually were still too small. Now, of course, I could go on and print a big vase that I would never use, a chair that I would never use, maybe even a stool or some other parts that I didn't want to use or have showcased in my house or whatever, and just waste a ton of filament on it. So I decided not to do that, but focus more on some of the projects that I actually needed this printer for, but then simply just accept that the parts are way smaller than the printer can handle, so just use it as a regular printer, but then way oversized. So for some projects I managed to fill up one full build plate out of the 4, and for others I managed to fill up the width of the printer most of the way. With that being said, there were some strange issues during those prints. Halfway in the first test print I managed to run out of filament, also another issue, so to speak. Usually the filament rolls come in a kilo, but you'd probably be better off putting on 2 or maybe even 5 or 10 kilo spools to not run out of filament and not have to fill it back up halfway through a print, so you can simply just leave it alone and be sure that the filament doesn't run out. Now in my case it did run out halfway through the print. I filled it up with some more filament, and for some strange reason that filament either didn't really bond to the rest of the layers, or some kind of weird mistake or fault error in the sliced file itself, as when I printed it again, made sure I had enough filament, it kind of had the same delamination at roughly the same point. So not really sure what went wrong there, but nothing really to do about it, as the parts had finished printing, and just doing it over and over and over again, running into the same issue, wasn't really something I wanted to keep doing, so I just moved on to the next project. And with next project I meant refining the printer itself by doing the bed leveling manually. Now you could, as I've done in the beginning, just do the automated bed leveling, but in this case, since it needed a bit more refinement here and there, since the layers were not really aligning all that well, I figured doing it by hand wouldn't really hurt all that much. Now this by itself is quite a big project. It takes up a bit of time and also a bit of back and forth, and could be a little bit frustrating, but if you simply follow the instructions, everything should go pretty smoothly. Then after doing the manual bed leveling, I did go over it again by doing the automated leveling, and then just completed it and moved on to the next print. That next print was also another bit of a test print. It's a smaller, easier one to do, just to check some certain parameters on the printer. It came out roughly okay, but it was really clear that it needed a lot more work for it to be printing as smooth and nicely as you'd like it to be. But straight out of the box, it wasn't really all that great. So that is something Elegoo should look into a bit more by getting the standard settings dialed in a bit better. With some of that fine-tuning now completed, I could move on to do some more projects. Now since I still didn't really feel like I was using this printer to the maximum capabilities, my wife came up with something to print on it, which is something I really didn't want to do, as it's a bit of a waste of filament and not something I can use anywhere in my warehouse, etc., like I said before, and that is by printing a large Jeep. Now this file was found on Thingiverse, and when scaled to the 100% that it comes as, it's roughly a 1/24th scale. My wife then decided to scale it up by 4 times as big, and that ended up filling quite a lot of the build plate. For the chassis and for the body, it needed 2 full build plates front to back, so that is a quite nice test to see if it is still capable of printing over 2 plates instead of just going on the one. It did turn out pretty well. All of the parts came out nice and smooth, and I was actually really impressed by the quality. Now also another reason to print this file, or this set of files, is to see what it is capable of. Can it do just huge things, or is it also pretty good at the smaller stuff? Now, as you could probably expect, this printer is actually capable of printing some finer and smaller details and getting really smooth small parts, and it is also capable of doing really big parts and also getting some nice results there. Now keep in mind, I did not use the full height. I didn't even come close to using the full height. Like I said before, I would be printing some very incredibly useless parts, just like this Jeep, but then even more useless to my liking, and that is something I really wasn't going to waste filament on, as most of the testing has been completed by either me or some other creators on YouTube. There are many other reviews out there of people printing larger and taller things than I'm doing here, but overall I'm really happy with the results so far. So overall, my final verdict on this printer: is it really that great? Well, for the price point, this is absolutely fantastic. A printer in a similar size is probably 3, maybe 4, or even 10 times as expensive as this one. So as an entry into huge FDM 3D printers, this is an absolute must-have. It saves you a ton of money, even though this one is still really expensive. It's not a small amount of money by any means whatsoever. So if you're looking for a large-scale FDM 3D printer, then this is pretty good to start off with. Now on the other hand, this is again really huge, and I myself couldn't really find all that much use for it because of the size. It is really big, taking up a large amount of space, and in my case it's in my living room, which is also really not that great, but moving it upstairs into my modeling room, there's no space there, not even anything that comes close to being the same size as this printer that is still available. So before you decide to order one of these, do take that into account. Either have it in the garage, maybe you have a shed or some other workspace that you can leave it in, but it does need a fair amount of space. Now besides the space, it's not only big, it's also pretty damn loud. Now there is a really good print head on this printer, capable of going really fast with all the other bits and gizmos on the printer, also going to very high temperatures, doing that really efficiently and working really great, but it is really loud. So having it in your living room makes it pretty unlivable in the living room when it is turned on, as the noise is really annoying. Now if you have it somewhere else, that probably shouldn't be that big of a problem, but in my specific set of circumstances, again, which most of this is all based on, it is a bit too loud for my liking. Now with that being said, if you do want to make it even louder, you can upgrade this printer later on in the year or in the beginning of next year. Pretty soon there will be some more parts available for this printer. In this case it comes with 1 print head, but you can also add 3 more. Now this does make a lot of sense for the sheer size of this printer, as with 4 print heads on that printer you can print multiple parts at the same time, or at least multiple of the same parts at the same time, making this printer a lot more efficient. And I think something that is pretty good for the use case of this printer as well, just being capable of printing a lot of parts at the same time all at once. Well, that's pretty much what I just said, but I think that is a good way of using this printer. If you're producing scale parts or 3D printed parts, selling them, etc., and just need a large batch at once, with 4 prints printing at the same time, you can achieve quite a fast result with 1 printer. Now you could of course also buy 4 separate printers and get the same results, but then again, if you have this one and also have use for printing bigger parts, I do think that is something to consider. So I do want to give a huge shout out to Elegoo for sending this printer free of charge to test for you guys on the channel. Well, I say you, this is all for me. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And if you have any questions about this printer, feel free to leave them in the comments down below, and I'll be happy to help where and when I can. Now also, a lot of the filaments that were supplied and used on this printer were supplied by Elegoo. They sent out a couple rolls of black filament, which went perfectly fine, a really great high quality filament. And for some of the other filaments, I had also been given some from Ujoybio3D. I'm probably mispronouncing the name, but I will be leaving a link in the description. This filament performed flawlessly. They have great colors, great pricing, and again, it worked really well. A lot of the prints came out super smooth. I'm not sure if that's down to the printer or the filament, but usually it's a combination of both. I've worked with really bad filaments in the past, and that did definitely destroy the final result of the prints. And in this case, it performed really well, smooth prints, great adhesion between the layer lines, etc. On a quick side note, on some of the prints there was a terrible amount of stringing in between the layers and leaving a ton of a mess on the printed parts. Now this is not down to the filament, this is all down to the fine-tuning and setting of the printer. Now this, just like some of the weird layer shifts, is probably down to some of the software still not really being up to par. They are still updating and upgrading it where and when they can, but in this case it is also something you can fine-tune by changing some of the settings yourself if you're more experienced with these 3D printers. So don't blame the printer, blame the software, or just blame your own settings. In this case it's probably down to me, and probably down to me not doing enough fine-tuning, which it did require. But then again, a printer at this price and also from a manufacturer this big, not being new to 3D printing whatsoever, I do think this should have already been resolved prior to them bringing this printer to market. With that all being said, it's time to repeat myself with a couple more things just one more time. Links will be in the description down below to the Elegoo website and also to the Ujoybio3D for the filaments. Again, sorry for mispronouncing that name, but the links will be down below. Also, do let me know if you have any questions about the printer. Feel free to check out the Elegoo website as well. A ton more information can be found there, which I didn't even talk about in this video. So if you want to know more specifics on this printer or any others, do check that out as well. And also, finally, if you want to see more or less of these printer reviews, let me know too. Your input is very, very much appreciated. I do have a couple other reviews coming up as well, so if you do like these, then, well, brace yourselves, there's more coming. And if you don't, well, then just don't watch those videos. But again, let me know what you guys want to see on the channel. And also, for some weird reason, if you're still watching, I'm not trying to turn this channel into a 3D printer review channel. I'm still trying to stick to my roots, and I'm trying to get back to that, finishing off a couple of projects that I have to do for some manufacturers, and also calming my work life down a bit so I have some more time to focus on the YouTube channel, which is not my full-time job. So just so you know, I'm doing this on the side and have a full-time job in the meantime as well. So it's quite a lot to jiggle and jungle around, but I'm trying to get back to some of the OG skill modeling stuff and producing more content like that on the channel. In the meantime, I'm sorry if the content hasn't been that great. I'm trying my very best to get back to what you guys pretty much want to see, I assume. So leave comments, let me know, and I'll try my best.